Hi guys, today is a really exciting video that I've been waiting to share for so long, and that is that I have a wallpaper line coming out today with roommates. I want to tell you guys the story of how this even came to be. So basically, when I first fell into social media as a career in 2020, when I didn't expect that, I had to kind of reroute what my career goals were. And the first thing that I got really excited about was the idea of product. And so I told everyone, I want to figure out how I can make product. As you guys know, if you watch my videos, most of my DIYs revolve around solving a problem. Specifically, my passion is renter friendly. I just have so many ideas for really cool things that I think a lot of people would love. So this collaboration is an amazing stepping stone for me. I have learned so much from it. I've been working with an amazing team at Roommates, and this is the very first product that I've ever put out there. I've never put out merch or anything like that. I've been waiting for the perfect thing, and this is it. Look at the cute little labels. I literally was crying when I got these in the mail for the first time. So conversation for this wallpaper line actually started all the way back on March 1st of 2022. That's how long we've been discussing and working on this line. We started talking about the possibilities and retailers and ideas and everything like that, and then we went back and forth on different designs. And I have a lot to say about the wallpaper itself and why I just love Roommates in general, but first I want to show you guys the patterns because I know that's what you're waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. I cannot wait to show you guys these. I've had them for so long and I haven't been able to show you guys for so long, so I'm showing you right now. This is real life right now that I'm showing you guys this. This is the first wallpaper pattern. It's called Inside the Box, and this is a concept that I have been absolutely obsessed with for the past 2 years. The concept of Inside the Box is actually the main inspiration for this entire collection. It's also the driving force concept behind a bunch of other projects that I have going on right now. Basically, what thinking inside the box means to me is using the resources that you have right here around you and using that to create something great. I kind of view it as if you're inside a box, right? And that is your life. You have all of the resources, all of the people around you, all of the money, the time availability, everything that's in your box. And sometimes you just can't access all of the things that are outside of your box. You have to stick with what you have. It's not pessimistic because there are always opportunities for you to expand your box, move into an even bigger box. When I was first working on the original renovation for my parents' house, when I started off on social media, I had nothing to my name. I had like $20 in my bank account, and I was really stressed out because I had to make a whole renovation happen out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden I had all of these eyes and I felt so much pressure, and I was like, I need to make this the best thing ever. And I truly believe that necessity breeds creativity. I think being surrounded by the idea that you can create anything within your box is really empowering, and it really makes you want to get more creative. And so I wanted to put that into a physical pattern that people can have in their space as like a reminder of that concept. So this is what the pattern looks like. These are just really small samples that I have with me at the moment, so I'll put the full pattern on the screen. But basically, I wanted to create a grid, and then I wanted each grid square to have a different design in it. I want each square to represent that creativity that each individual person can have within their box, and how each box looks so different from the one next to it. And I also just think that aesthetically, it's a really funky design. I really love it. I can totally see this yellow pattern in a bold retro space. I can see this beige colored one in a organic, modern, funky shape type of home. And I could definitely see this blue one also in a nautical space if you have a wall that you want pattern in. I think there's just so many possibilities, but my goal with this pattern specifically was just to be a reminder of that concept, and I'm really excited to see it in you guys' homes if you want it. Oh my gosh. The next pattern in the collection is called Lineation, and this is also one of my favorites. They're all my favorite, I can't decide, but I obviously love squiggles, as you guys know. You may remember this wood wall that I made in my home, in my office. It is my favorite DIY. I film in front of it all the time. When I was making that DIY originally, I actually came up with it on my computer. I drew all the shapes that I wanted and I made them interact with each other just so I could play with exactly how I wanted it to look before I put it onto my wall. So I had that file of just shapes that I made, and when we started talking about the wallpaper, I sent them the file and they quite literally turned the file into a wallpaper. So this is literally just my wood wall but reincarnate. So if you want that wood wall but you don't want to make it, now you can get it in these fun colors. I was very sure that I wanted this pattern in a green because I love green and I have so many visions for where I want this in my space. We also made it in this blue color, which would look amazing in beachy spaces or more feminine, calm spaces. I'm obsessed with it. And then of course a neutral for all of my neutral friends. This would look so good in an organic modern space. Again, I'm obsessed with these patterns. So the title of this wallpaper is Lineation, of course, because it is lines, but it also is like a lineage from me to you because it's a DIY from my home that I'm now trying to put into your home. Beyond that as well, something that I really love about this design is how the shapes interact with each other. I think it's so cool that none of these blobs would really exist if the other blobs around it weren't creating those shapes that it has to mold around. I think this pattern is a really great reminder that we are a product of our environment and you are going to react to the things that happen to you. If you feel like you need a day off, if you're overwhelmed, if life is throwing a lot at you, like in this wallpaper, you will be alright and you can take your break. Sometimes I forget that I'm a human who is experiencing life around me and that I can't just be a work machine, and sometimes I need to slow down and acknowledge all of the blobs that are pushing on me. And I just think that this is a really cool visual reminder of that, and I think it's really calming and I'm obsessed with it, of course. The next pattern is called Framework, and this, oh my gosh, you guys, this is the one that was really the color motivation for the entire collection. So this wallpaper was actually inspired by that grid wall that I made in my house, if you guys remember that. I basically made my life so much harder than it needs to be, and I taped off an entire grid using a laser level and I painted this wall for myself. And then after the fact, I got all of these wooden squares and I made custom storage on that wall for myself for my different needs, whether it be bobby pins or sunglasses or anything like that. And as some of you may know or may not know, I was actually really going through it when I did that DIY. That was one of the most isolating and emotional times for me, and so doing that DIY and creating custom storage for my different needs was kind of empowering in a way. During that time period, I was incredibly scared, and it makes me really sad to talk about it because I was so alone and I didn't know what my life was going to be like, and so I just kind of narrowed everything down and tried to create DIYs that were hyper specific for really small things that I knew I could get through. So I wanted to make a grid wallpaper, and I didn't want it to be a grid specifically because you can get that anywhere. I wanted it to be something that was more designed. So this pattern still has some squares on it, and you can definitely use that to build storage off of. You can make your own custom storage with this, which is something that I was really excited about. And it also just has a really cool, funky design. I am obsessed with this colorful one. This is basically my color story in a wallpaper. Now this is the blue one. I'm in love with this one. I think it could work really well in some mid-century spaces with warm woods, or it could look really good in a little boy's bedroom. And of course there is a neutral color for this pattern as well. I think this would look beautiful in literally any space. So obviously a bunch of stacked rectangular shapes leads to the name Framework, but I also think the name Framework really goes back to that time when I originally made this DIY. I was kind of creating a framework for my life moving forward, and I didn't even know it at the time. I was just doing whatever I could to get by, and I think that that is what DIY is for a lot of us. It's creating a framework for our lives in a way that we need it to work. We're looking up all of these DIYs and learning all of these new skills because we want to make our lives better. But that's just so beautiful, and I wanted to make a pattern that represents that and that really shows whoever's looking at it how powerful they can be and how much they can accomplish, even if it's just a small DIY. Your life is really just your perception of your own life because you only have your brain. So you can create a life around you that's beautiful and that speaks to you regardless of anything else that's going on. So I really love this pattern. And then the last pattern, I'm so sad I don't want to stop showing you guys these, but the last pattern is called Pathways, and it looks like this. There is a yellow one, which, hello, I wanted a yellow wallpaper so bad. I think this would look so beautiful in like a really feminine, like earthy space. Like I'm picturing sunflowers and daisies and like jean material. I can also picture it in really masculine spaces too. I can picture so many possibilities with this. And then I also did it in black, and I was really excited about this because I see a lot of black wallpapers, but they're typically floral, and I feel like they're typically very Victorian leaning, and that's really beautiful, but that's not my personal style or a lot of other people's. So I wanted to do something that had that more modern graphic style, but in that deeper colorway, and I'm so excited for this one. And then of course we have our cream colored icon at the end. As always, this is just a really good way to add some subtle texture to your space while still keeping it bright and airy. So this pattern was born because I really wanted a doodle wallpaper. I think I love doodles because of the aesthetic, but I also just love the idea that life is not linear. I love things being in sketch. This pattern specifically goes up and down, it turns back around, it does all of those things, and I thought that that was a great representation of how your life will not be linear. I had such a one-track path for how I wanted my life to go, and I was very set in my ways, and I worked very hard, and then all of a sudden my life just changed, and it's constantly changing every single day so rapidly, and I just have to take everything as it goes. I think this is a really great reminder that your life is not going to be linear, and that's just part of life, and it's not that you are a failure if one road ends. There's still another one. As you can see, there's so many options that you can take, and not only is this wallpaper a reminder of that, but it's also just really fun doodles on your wall. It's really cute, really aesthetic. So those are all of the wallpaper patterns. I was really excited. I really wanted this launch to be something that was really versatile, so a lot of people can try it, and I wanted to keep it gender neutral and use colors that are true to me and my aesthetic too. And my life has obviously been very crazy recently, and I've been so embarrassed to have to share so many things on social media of what's been going on. And honestly, this wallpaper launch has been something that has kept me so excited throughout all of this. I've just been waiting to get a launch date. I've been waiting to tell you guys all about it, and it's something that means a lot to me. And regardless if anyone buys it, I'm just so excited to have it. Now I want to talk a little bit about roommates because I obviously love them, and this whole collaboration is with them. They are truly renter friendly, so you don't have to worry about damaging your walls with them. I've tested it myself, and I've also seen countless reviews online. They are one of the most beloved wallpaper brands for peel and stick. Each roll of this wallpaper is $49, and you can get it at all of the places on the screen. I will have places linked as well down below, and this covers 18 feet by 20.5 inches wide, so that's 30.8 square feet of coverage, and that's really good pricing compared to competitive brands right now on social media. You can cover quite a lot with just one roll. You can also order the samples online, so you can have a sample to see what the color looks like in your space. You can test it out, and I like to use the little samples as crafts. I want to put this one on my phone case and stuff like that because I don't like to put anything to waste. Now this is obviously not where I expected to be filming my wallpaper announcement video. Things did not go as planned. I was going to film this in my office, but now I'm here. I'm here not only to renovate, but also just for my mental health, because I can spiral really quickly if I don't have loved ones around to keep me grounded. So I am doing really well, and I'm really excited to be here. It's a full circle moment because my whole platform began because of my parents' house and renovating my parents' house, and now I'm here in my parents' new home that they were able to purchase because they were finally able to sell the old home that I renovated for them, and now they're here and they're having me renovate this new room and my wallpaper is my first product, and it's going into my parents' space first. So even though I really want it in my home, and I'm going home after this and I'm going to install it anywhere that I can, wherever there's a wall, I think it's really cool that the first place I'm installing it is my parents' house. But that is it for the wallpaper. That is my wallpaper line. It is live right now. You can go buy it. I really hope you guys like it, and if you buy it and if you install it in your home or someone else's home or whatever may have you, I'm like begging you to tag me. I have been waiting for this for so long, and I'm so excited to just see something that I created in someone else's space. Like, I'm overly excited about it. So if you tag me in your video or your photo, I will most definitely be saving it and putting it in like an electronic scrapbook, or I will be reposting it on my socials, and I'll probably just be crying in the corner watching your videos. So like, I really genuinely want to see. And I also just want to say thank you, because I'm very aware of the fact that I would not have a wallpaper line. I would not be sitting here making this exciting video. I would not have any of this if you weren't watching my videos. So thank you. Even if you can't buy my wallpaper, or if you're not in the market for wallpaper right now, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being there, commenting, anything that you've done just to help me get to this point. I appreciate it more than you even know, and I'm excited for this new journey chapter of product development and sharing my ideas with you guys, and I hope that you love them. I will see you in my next video. Bye!